It's Chris from Drift here, and with steelhead season coming up, we thought it would be a great time of year to recap 3 of the most common issues that we see people having when fishing indicators on the water. To start off, the most common thing I think I see when out there is the actual indicator placement on leaders. It is very key that whatever indicator system you're using, you're going to have a butt section or a tapered leader that you're working off of, and then a thinner tippet stretch. And the key to getting a good drift with an indicator is really to put that indicator toward the front end of that butt or tapered leader section. And the reason for this is a couple of things. For one, the thinnest part of your line system is the leader versus the fly line in comparison. And so the fly line is much more prone to catching a lot of different currents, and that is really where a lot of your drag comes from, is wherever that fly line touches the water. And so the further that we can distance the indicator from the fly line, the cleaner your drift is. The other part of this that's really key is thinking about the sinking angle of that leader coming off of the indicator. So you'll see with it set towards the end of the leader, that leader material is fairly soft, and so when it falls off the side of that indicator, it's almost at a 90-degree angle. But if we were to shift this up the leader to the thicker butt portion, say if we want to get deeper, sometimes we'll see people sliding these way up, that becomes really stiff, and you'll see that it rides way off the side before actually sinking. Not to mention, again, the fact that you're getting very close to the thicker fly line, which is going to introduce a lot more drag to your drift. So whenever you're fishing the indicator, keep it towards the end of your tapered leader, and as needed, if you need to adjust depth, you can slide it around a few inches, but you really should be relying more on your tippet length below there to set the depth. The next thing that I see a lot is too big an indicator. So you need an indicator obviously buoyant enough to hold up whatever kind of weight that you're fishing, and something visible enough that you can track with your eye. But too big an indicator introduces a few challenges. For one, it's harder to cast. It introduces a lot more weight. It can introduce, again, more drag because it catches more surface currents, and it's less sensitive, and also splashes down really hard, which can spook fish, especially if you're in smaller rivers. So there's definitely a time and a place for the big guys if you need it on big water, but for a lot of your average Great Lakes tributaries, something like the medium-sized Oros or airlocks are great, or even consider going down to a yarn indicator, which will still be very visible, but a lot easier to cast and very sensitive and stealthy to those fish as well. So indicator size, really just think about what is the minimum size that I can get away with while still holding up enough weight and being visible to me. And lastly, and certainly not least, would be split shot. This may seem like a minor thing, but can have a really big impact on your drift. We would always recommend that if you are using split shot, and usually we are, for steelhead at least, because these rivers are bigger compared to our little trout streams, when you're using split shot, to get a wingless shot versus a winged split shot. And simply a winged split shot is just that sort of removable split shot. There's those 2 little tabs on the back where you pinch it and it opens back up. That may seem like a great convenience to those split shot, but the issue with that is that those wings catch a lot of currents. They can spin your leader up, introducing a lot of twist, and they can distort your drift as those currents catch it and sort of swing it unnaturally compared to where that fly should be tracking. So those smooth, just perfectly round, wingless split shot, which is all that we sell in the shop, they drift a lot cleaner. They just cut through that current. They don't spin or anything weird. That is the style, whatever sort of split shot system you like to run, that you want to stick with. We hope that helps you out on the water this fall. Let us know how it goes for you. As always, if you have any questions, you can reach us here at the shop, and good luck out there.